Thank you, Noah, and thanks to everybody here. I hope you've all got your pins. Lunch is going to be served now. Please enjoy your lunch, and we'll be back in a little bit to introduce you to the keynote speaker. Thank you. All right. We're ready to get going again. I hope you enjoyed your lunch. Can we have a round of applause for the Fairmont people for the great lunch they put on? I hope you got up and shook hands with everybody at your table. That was your job for lunch. Anyway, I want to, it's really my privilege to introduce somebody. I'm going to try and fix this mic before Nick gets up here. But it's my privilege to introduce to you Nick Logan. And, you know, I know Nick is going to be kind of embarrassed by this 5-page intro that I have. It's not quite 5 pages, but I think you want to listen to what this individual has accomplished during his life, because he is a shining example of where you want to be as you go forward. I know you're going to be excited to hear what Nick has to tell you, but before we get there, I want to tell you a little bit about Nick. So Nick Logan was the president and CEO and director of National Leasing from its inception in 1987 until 2014. During that time, he pioneered the growth of various companies within the corporation. Now listen to this variety, including vehicle leasing and renting, technology information services, cellular phone distribution, third-party administration services, plasma coating technology, and equipment sales and financing. He has served as a director on the boards of the Manitoba Theatre Centre, Junior Achievement, Winnipeg Rowing Club, Winnipeg Winter Club, and the Manitoba Sports Federation. You might get a little sport kind of theme heading through this bio. He has also served as the director and chairman of Games Operation for the 1999 Pan American Games Society, chairman of the Canadian Finance and Lease Association, and campaign chair of the United Way of Winnipeg. He received the University of Manitoba's Distinguished Alumni for Professional Achievement in 2015. Now, I'm not done yet. So over these years, National Leasing has won numerous awards, including being named one of Canada's 50 best privately managed companies for 16 consecutive years, one of Canada's most admired corporate cultures, Canada's 50 most engaged workplaces, and one of the best small and medium employers in Canada, right here in Winnipeg, folks. Currently, Mr. Logan is a member of the board of directors for Wawanesa, and I won't indicate all the individual companies there, but Wawanesa and the Mazer Group in Brandon. His volunteer activities include distinguished member of the Manitoba Business Council, an associate of the Asper School of Business of the University of Manitoba, member of the advisory board for the United Way, advisor to the University of Winnipeg Business School, and the honorary lieutenant colonel with the Queen's Own Cameron Highlanders. Board member with the Friends of Peanut Park and the Winnipeg Rowing Club. He is involved with numerous fundraising campaigns in Winnipeg, including Kelvin High School, Assiniboine Park Conservancy, the Winnipeg Art Gallery's proposed Inuit Center, restoration of Enderton Park Foundation, and the Winnipeg Rowing Club Foundation. Now, if that isn't enough, Mr. Logan maintains an active lifestyle, which includes rowing, kayaking, canoeing in the summer, and yoga and cross-country skiing on the World Loppet program during the winter. He and his wife, Christine, live in the Logan family home in Crescentwood, which was built by his grandparents in 1908, and they have 3 sons, Patrick, Robert, and Peter, who all reside in Winnipeg. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Nick Logan. Thank you.
Well, Deborah, you are an amazing PR lady. I think you could make anybody sound good. Thank you for that. Dean Benaroche, head table honored guests, Asper School inductees, associates, ladies and gentlemen. This is an amazing audience of massive rowdy potential at the starting gate, mixed in with some very envious business people. I'm a little nervous here for a number of reasons. One is that I've got Greg Hansen, one of my classmates, sitting behind me already talking about skipping meetings this afternoon and going to the beer fest. He's trouble. But I'm really concerned about a story I remember hearing from Dr. John McCallum. And for any of you, all you new people who don't know Dr. John McCallum, he is the preeminent economist at the Asper School. Not to be confused with that fraudulent imposter down east in politics. Dr. John is he's the real thing. He's the one the media goes to when there's an interpretation needed of what the Chinese are doing or the Canadian government or what's happening in Manitoba. Anyway, he was telling me that he was getting ready to speak to an audience of Asper students one day, and before he got up to speak, he went to use the boys' room, and as he was washing his hands, he went over to that big hot air blow dryer, and as he pushed the button, he saw a sign on top of that big button that said, "Push here for Dr. McCallum's economic update." So I know I'm in for a tough crowd. It's a bit like speaking in a Bomber game, you know. People get disinterested in the game and the speaker and go on to something else. Well, it's good to have a sense of humor. I recently ran into an older friend of mine who was a real dynamo in business, but ran into some trouble in the last recession. And I got asking him how things were going. And of course, I opened Pandora's box. He went into this tirade about business and gave me all kinds of information. And then he went on to say, "You know, Nick, I was a millionaire twice in my career." I thought, great, this guy recovered, and somehow he made out okay. But then he went on to say, once on the way up and once on the way down. So there's a lesson there for all you soon-to-be successful people. Practice mindfulness and respectfulness to people as you rise with your successes, because they will be the same people that will either catch you if you fall from grace, and believe me, we all slip up, or they'll be the same people that will grease the slide and let you go on by. But I am thrilled to be here, welcoming you to the Asper School of Business. Having been in your shoes a while back, I really envy you at this exciting stage of your life. You have made a darn good decision. The right school, the right career, and most importantly of all, the right city. Today, you are making a professional commitment where you will never stop learning. You will see countless opportunities. You will have unlimited earning potential, and you will be able to work anywhere in the world. That could be our new Asper guarantee. At National Leasing, I quickly learned what a luxury it is to do business in all the Canadian cities from a head office here in Winnipeg. And hopefully I can pass on some of that hard-earned wisdom and specifically help plant some ideas with you about how to position yourself for career choices and personal growth. And all this will be from an employer's point of view. This might seem unusual, but my first comments to aspiring young business students would be to explain the importance of the liberal arts courses and how important they are to an individual's future in the world of commerce. Specifically, I want to encourage you to engage your studies in psychology, sociology, politics, philosophy, and cultivate a thirst for the understanding of people's behavior. These topics will be the ones that you will build on for your entire career. The executive courses you will take in later years to complement your business basics will be on topics like business development, negotiation, long-term strategy, and human resource management. They will all build on that arts foundation. So don't miss an opportunity to make it your strong suit. Your success navigating in the business world will be determined by your understanding of people, how they interact, their differences, what motivates them, group dynamics, and how groups actually think. The arts will be the framework your career will travel on. The business courses will be the compass and the GPS attached to that frame. Sometime in your coursework, you will be studying the making of a brand. You may not actually put classroom research and development into your soon-to-be personal brand. However, it is important that you begin contemplating the marketing of yourself. During the undergraduate years, you will build a reputation for your work, your attitude, your interests, your involvement in event organizing, and all of these will help to establish the outline of your own personal brand. This will be the brand employers will be looking at, and the Asper School will help you to make it a sought-after one. I'd like to take you past the next few years for a moment and give you a vision of where this Asper experience is headed, and hopefully inspire you to see a longer life path. It is a bit like putting a picture of a house on your refrigerator to remind you every day why you're saving and working so hard. Someday soon, you'll be arriving at your first real business position. You will still be young and inexperienced, and the initial jobs will feel menial and a bit like slave labor. But this is where you will get the final tests, develop real credibility, prove your reliability, and gain experience in the live action. And this is experience you can't get on YouTube free. This is where you will sharpen those Asper tools. So plan to jump in fearlessly and do it all, adding enthusiasm to your brand. Don't be too concerned right now where your career is headed. If I had mapped out my life when I was sitting where you are, I think I would have missed the whole career. But you will be trained at Asper to take on increased leadership roles in the business world. This is when you will have to rely on what you know. Your strength will not come from a place on some organizational chart, but will come from building trust and earning respect. But more than anything else, you're going to need the ability to communicate authentically. That starts with listening so that you continue to learn from others, and speaking so that you inspire the people around you. You will enter the business of people. As you grow in your career and your responsibilities increase, the amount of time using business tools will decrease substantially. As a CEO in a finance business, I use my pure business tools less than 10% of the time. It soon becomes all about working with and understanding the people you want to build a business relationship with. As you work with associates or business partners, your final, deeper reputation will evolve. That brand you started building in 2015 will become a wider, trusted, respected, and reliable one. People ask me why my brand, which is tied to National Leasing's, works so well. I usually give them a stock answer saying that it's all about accommodating people's ambitions. Many CEOs counter by telling me what great employers they are. But when I ask them a few simple questions, the truth comes out. They are really run-of-the-mill, rule-book employers who do not walk the walk when it really comes to serving their colleagues. The managing and motivating of people is pretty simple. It is building a culture supported through management that truly respects and supports every individual in their job responsibilities and in their career ambitions. It is establishing a culture that recognizes that every person in the organization is critical for success. My definition of culture is that it is the operating system of a company. It is how people behave when no one is watching.